Made it. Let's go. What's poppin', guys, and welcome back. As you can see, we have finished excavating the entirety of this massive hole that we started in the last episode. And if you've been subscribed for a while, you would already know that this is the beginning of a massive mega project that we have been working on for quite some time now. And yeah, this entire hole, every single column of stone here is completely excavated, and I think it's about time we continue working on this. Unintentional slime farm, by the way. Pretty cool. But yeah, today's gonna be a little bit of a different episode because I've been doing a lot of thinking about the 1.19 wild update, and I wanted to have a little bit of a discussion with you guys with regards to how I want to handle this series and future episodes and all of that kind of stuff. And while we're doing that, we're really going to be doing a lot of like maintenance and general improvement to this area, right? Like, we got big hole, but like it's really gross. Like, look at all this crap here. You know, this disgusting. I don't like it. So as we're doing our little bits of, you know, discussion and reflection and making plans for future series and all of that, I'm going to be cleaning up all this crap here. I'm also going to be patching up all of our farms. I built these into the rock, right? So they don't really have anything going on back here. And on top of that, we are going to be working on some new farms today, and maybe a couple other things as well, but we'll get there when we get there. Oh, that was clutch. I was right on the edge. Jeez, gaming. Why don't we kick off into a little bit of a time lapse as I clean up the rest of these gross walls. And then once we're done with that, we'll talk a little bit how I want to actually design and decorate this massive depression in the earth. See you in a bit. Oh, you thought that was the real time lapse? No, that was just me getting all my crap out of the gamer cave. Look at the sheer amount of just garbage we've got going on here. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full double chests of cobble, gravel and stuff. All of this is stone, by the way. I collected a whole bunch of stone from this excavation. I'm sure I missed a ton of it, but you can see it goes all the way up to here, and I still have 2 more full shulker boxes full of stone. I couldn't be bothered to make the chest tower that high. But yeah, just look at all of this crap that I've been lugging around with me. But you don't care about that. You want to see big hole. So let's get back to big hole. Well, hello there. Hi, friends. Whew, oh my, that was a massive grind. You saw in the time lapse, it was so annoying dealing with all that scaffolding and digging vertically and everything. Like, geez, it took a really, really long time, but it was worth it because this looks fantastic. It's honestly kind of nuts just how gray this entire place looks now. And I know I missed a couple spots, but don't worry about it. Oh yeah, and I also filled in this little bit over here on the side, just a little bit of quick terraforming. There was a little bit of a hole over here that I just decided to patch up as I was working on this, just to make the surrounding area look a little bit more flush and smooth and less jagged. I still got to figure out what to do with this giant hole behind the edge over there, but we'll get to that another time. We're actually going to be taking this episode in a little bit of a different direction than I originally planned. We're going to be focusing less on the existing farms and more so actually on decorating this entire thing. Like any other mega project in Minecraft, we need to do a ton of resource gathering, and it's going to be another massive grind to get that done. So if we make our way over here, you can see I'm laying out a whole bunch of shulker boxes, and I've been collecting resources a little bit off camera. Not to spoil anything too much, but I've got a really, really sick steampunk design for this giant crater in the ground. It's gonna be really, really awesome. I am very excited, but the amount of blocks we're gonna need is really, really ridiculous. I'm gonna need around 6,000 black glass, 6,000 black concrete, probably like shulkers and shulkers and shulkers full of deep slate, almost an entire shulker box full of copper. So as you can see, you know, I've been doing a little bit of work, right, gathering up black concrete powder and doing a whole bunch of villager trading for glass. We're gonna need way more than that. And in order to get all of that black glass, we're actually gonna be making a new farm today, which is going to be a squid farm. Kind of decided on doing this a little bit last minute. In case you can't tell, this episode is kind of just very hodgepodge, kind of scrambled together last minute because I was originally going to be working on the existing farms, but now I am incredibly inspired to do the decoration of the crater. So I guess you could say we're shifting gears and working on that instead. But yeah, over in this direction, actually right down here, I've located a really tiny little speck of a river biome, which is exactly what you need for a squid farm. I also found a really nice and simple looking design by a guy called Regund on YouTube, so do check out his video if you get the chance. If I remember, I will link it in the description. So let's get on with that. For this farm, we're going to be using the materials right here, at least according to the video tutorial that I'm following alongside this. We're also going to need the beacon that we have over in our industrial area, just because we're going to be digging out a very large area into the ground in that river biome, so we're going to want to make that quite a bit easier with insta-mining. Let's head back over to our tiny little river biome. It's kind of cute, to be honest. Oh my god, there's a whole lot of squid spawning in here already. Well, I mean, don't mind if I do, if you guys are just going to be right here. Man, was that annoying, and I'm really looking forward to automating the process, even if I can't use looting 3. 1, 2. There we go. Haste 2. Very nice. Okay, first step, we're going to be working at Y64 here. You can see that on my F3 screen. And we're going to be making a 9x9 platform out of glass. Just like that. Take a quick little nap. And now we got this funky little pattern right here. There's no way I was removing all that water by myself. Big shout outs to sponges. So I need to take this and dig it all the way down to Y29, I believe. We're at 45 right now. So we're gonna have a good bit of digging to do, and I figured while we're doing that, we might as well do our little bit of discussion that I was talking about earlier. So this is mainly with regards to 1.19. As you guys probably know, the wild update is coming out pretty soon, actually. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with this series. As you know, I've been continuing this for basically all of 1.18's existence. I know it came out a little bit before, like maybe a month or two before I started this series, but you know, this has been going on for a while. I know I've been doing plenty of other videos in addition to these survival videos, so of course, you know, I haven't made like a million episodes. We're only on, what, episode 15, I think? You know, it's nothing crazy. I did mention in previous episodes, mainly in the world tour, that I'd be continuing this series for a long time. And trust me, I do really still want to. The only thing that really would have stopped me from continuing to make more episodes, really just forever, would be a new Minecraft update, which, as you know, is exactly what we're getting. To be brief about things, I'm probably going to be wrapping up this series when 1.19 comes out, for a couple reasons, right? Like, I mean, I do really respect the people that continue the same world, like update after update, you know, like Etho or people like that who have those really long, drawn-out series that have just been running for years and years and years. But I don't really think I'm that kind of person, to be honest. You know, I like continuing series for a while just for the sake of saying that, you know, you stuck with the world and you really committed to it. But a new update in the game is different. There isn't really going to be any reason to have a 1.18 survival series running. And of course, I could just update this world into 1.19, like the same seed and everything. But because of the way the Deep Dark works and how it would have to generate in new chunks in the underground, we'd have to do a lot of exploring to find brand new chunks and all that. So, you know, that could have worked, but then I realized that I still had some ideas for a new series, and I think 1.19 is actually the perfect opportunity to do that. Some of you guys might remember way back before I started this series, I was floating to you guys, another idea of a hardcore series. And the premise of this hardcore series, in addition to, of course, it just being hardcore, would be that I would have an element of randomness into it. I'd have a big list of like basically nerfs that I can put on myself to make it even harder than regular Minecraft hardcore, which by the way is already going to be pretty difficult for me. I'm not good at this game, so hardcore is going to be really interesting, but I want to try it. But yeah, so I have this big list of basically like debuffs that I would be putting on myself whenever I start a new world. I'm thinking that like I would pick 2 at random. Some might be easier than others, right? Like one might be like, oh, you cannot sleep. And you know, that's really tough, especially for hardcore, because I'm going to want to go out and do stuff at night. Then of course I put myself at risk of dying. Some challenges are a little bit less strict, but all of them are going to make the game quite a bit more difficult for me. And I've been kind of, you know, sitting on this idea for frankly like almost 6 months now, and I do want to put it into practice with the release of 1.19. But yeah, those are my general plans for like the direction I want to take the channel, and I hope you guys like it. You know, we're going to be changing things a little bit. I am definitely going to miss doing a regular survival series, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to be making videos in some form or another, so I really do hope you'll be around to watch them. And I killed that skeleton with a torch. In whatever format they may be, I'll be around. This copper vein is freaking massive, by the way, and I'm all here for it. Pogging out of my noggin right now, dude. This is actually nuts. Oh, we got a copper ore block. Oh, there it is. That's my first time seeing one out in the wild. That's crazy. I actually love this feature. This is nuts. This is just a ridiculous amount of copper. I'm so happy right now. This is what I needed, dude. Like, I was a little worried about the amount of copper I needed, and this is just, oh my god, this is fantastic. And there's more over here. Dude, this is incredible. We're gonna have there's another ore block. All right, that's 3 now. It just keeps going, dude. Like, there's so much here. Every time I think I'm like getting close to the end, I just break open a new pocket and there's like 20 more copper ores. Can you believe I was down here to like light up caves? Ooh, hi buddy. I wish I had a bucket on me right now. All right, how do I like leave? I think I might have just like decimated my exit point from all the copper. Was it up here? I'm struggling a little bit here, guys. I genuinely don't remember how to leave. It's kind of embarrassing. Oh my god. I thought I was done, but no, there's more. It just keeps going. Like, oh, number 5? Yup. Okay, seriously, now how do I leave? This is becoming a problem, guys. Guys, there's more copper. Yup. Okay, enough copper. I need to leave, but I can't. I don't know where the exit is. All right, I'm just gonna pillar up. It's fine. Over 4.5 stacks of copper ore, 5 raw copper ore blocks, and we still have over a stack of raw copper from just like digging out this tiny little area right here. Man, we are gonna have a lot of copper. And trust me, I need every block I can get. But we actually never even got close to digging out this thing, so why don't I go finish that up real quick, and we'll catch up when the farm is done. Alright, well, I actually went ahead and finished the entire thing. The way the farm works is that squids will spawn in those weird little water columns up there that are held up by the gates. They'll eventually fall out when they try to move, and they'll drop down here. They'll do a big ol' splat and die down here, and their remains will be picked up by these hoppers and brought over into these chests where I can come claim them later. Pretty simple design. I know I kind of breezed through the construction of this farm. If you want a much better explanation, then go watch the video I was just talking about previously. Trust me, it's a great tutorial. And before I do an AFK session and go grind up some ink sacks, I actually wanted to show you what I found over there. First of all, there's a geode, but if you come this way, aha, geode, lush cave, very jumpy axolotl, and another geode. Yeah, I don't know what I stumbled into here. Hi, buddy. But this place is just ridiculous. I didn't light up most of it just yet, because I just really wanted to do a little bit of exploring here. And then I'm also going to do an AFK session and get a bunch of ink sacks, and I will catch up with you guys when it's time to put together some more resources for our mega project. About 2 or 3 hours of AFKing later, and look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4.5 full shulkers. This farm is insane. I had no idea it was going to be this productive. Basically what I did is I just sat down in the bottom corner of the farm AFKing. I had my render distance set to 2, which is recommended in the video. Another thing I noticed though, there is an ocean biome over here, which was causing a little bit of issues with the spawn rates. As you can see, there are squid spawning in there right now. But all I had to do was reposition my AFK spot to be in the far corner, and things worked out just fine. Now it is time to bring all this stuff back to our industrial area and add it to our ever-growing collection of resources that we are nowhere near finished with. To be honest, I don't think we're gonna have time in this episode to really do any real building. I know, I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I really want to get this video out in a reasonable time frame. I don't want it to have to take, 2 weeks or whatever. So I think we're gonna be saving the big building grind for next episode, but trust me, it's gonna be nuts. You guys are gonna love it. Oh, and I completely forgot actually, one very important thing we neglected over at the Squid farm. I was talking about grinding up some copper earlier. Well, if we take a look in this top chest here, we have way more than enough copper now, I think. Don't want to jinx it. Might still run out of copper, to be honest. I'm gonna be real, this just makes me really, really happy. So let's bring that back to our industrial district as well. I'll get all those ores breaking down, and then I think we're gonna finish out this episode doing, yet again, more resource grinding. Once again, that is how it goes with mega projects. You gotta grind for literal days before you even place down a single block. Alright, so we got all of our ink sacs right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and convert them all into black dye. I'm gonna do as much, conversion of the glass and the concrete as possible. But as you can see, we're gonna need a lot more gravel, a lot more sand, especially a lot more sand for all the glass we're going to be smelting up. And then hopefully by that point we will be part of the way there for this project. Did I mention this project was absolutely bonkers, by the way? I think I did, but I just want to reiterate that. I guess I'll talk to you guys when I've finished making 50,000 million mustaches. This is my life, I guess. Lots of smelting and crafting later, and we got 2 full shulkers of the black dye. I actually decided against crafting all of them up. You can see I've still got like almost 3 boxes right there. In the off chance that we actually have too much, I can always go trade the ink sacs over to librarian villagers for yet another way to get emeralds. In the copper front, you can see we've got an entire half double chest, or put more simply, a chest, full of copper blocks. This is gonna get us most of the way there, so I'm not too worried about getting additional copper. Now my main concern is sand and gravel. So I'm thinking, right, like we got 6 shulker boxes in our inventory. I would love to get 4 shulker boxes of sand and 2 shulker boxes of gravel. We could make a whole bunch more black concrete powder that we're going to be using for the very base foundation, like basically the floor underneath what we're going to do for our floor design. Oh wow, look, there's sand here. Did I just like not pick any of this up the last time I went to go mine sand? Hello? Like, you think I would have actually bothered to pick up the blocks that I was digging, but apparently not. Apparently that's beyond me. Well, free sand, I guess. All right, give me a minute to pick all this up and then we can actually start digging. This is really stupid. Why did I leave this here? So I figured while we're here, digging away at this weirdly large beach, which is my substitute for a desert because I don't have one nearby, I figured I'd talk a little bit more about the wild update. Specifically, I actually want to ask you guys about the wild update. I'm curious what you guys think. I want to get opinions from you guys, how you feel about the new update. Like, are you excited for it? Do you think it's got enough content to be on par with the very content-rich recent updates we've gotten. So if you could leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the update, I would really like to hear all of them. Personally, this might be a little bit of a take, but I can't say I'm too excited. Like, don't get me wrong, Deep Dark, fantastic. Warden looks awesome. Mangrove swamps and frogs and everything look really cool, but I feel like this really should have been Caves and Cliffs Part 3, you know? Arguably the biggest feature of the update, you know, the Deep Dark and the Warden, was supposed to come out in 1.17 originally, if you guys remember, from all the way back, and I think Minecon 2020 maybe? Now, of course, I totally understand not being able to do that, and all the new blocks, and all the new world generation in one giant update, but I feel like it could have been two. Back in April of 2021, when I was making those, like, you know, crappy little build hacks shorts. I mean, you know, they're crappy now. At the time, I quite liked them, and there's the reason my channel is here today, but let's be honest, they suck. I remember considering in like one of my first episodes that I could make like a build hacks video on Skulk, and I never did because, as you can imagine, it's very hard to really build with. That just goes to show how long ago Skulk was in the game. Now, of course, I don't want to be too critical of Mojang. You know, I do really respect them putting their developers first and making sure they're not, you know, putting a lot of pressure on them with crunch time and deadlines and everything. All that stuff is really great. I'm thinking back to previous updates, right? Like ever since 1.13, we got a crazy amount of content in every update, but 1.13 was the update aquatic, right? Like they totally revamped the oceans. They gave us things like dolphins, turtles, coral reefs, I think. 1.14 was village and pillage. We had raids. Villager trading, which is a huge mechanic nowadays in Minecraft, was completely overhauled. 1.15 admittedly was a bit of a smaller update, but you know, it didn't take very long to come out, if I remember correctly. And even then, you know, bees are really nice, and they have all these new interesting blocks. Honey blocks are amazing for redstone. Bee farming is a thing. And then 1.16, I mean, oh my god, the Nether update, genuinely, I think is my favorite update. 3 new biomes. You know, the Warped Crimson Forest, Soul Sand Valley. Oh, no, 4 new biomes, counting the Basalt Delta, Piglins, Hoglins, the new wood types, new music discs, bastions. Like, what they did in the Nether was legit phenomenal. But yeah, so, you know, 1.19, it certainly looks fun. I'm just a little worried that, you know, I'm not really as excited for it compared to previous updates. I kind of feel like the spark isn't there as much for me. And you know, of course, this isn't the same for everybody. I'm sure somebody out there, their favorite update of all time is going to be 1.19. But that person is not me. And you know, of course, this is totally fine. I'm not saying I don't like the direction Mojang is taking the game or anything. That's totally not true. I think they're doing a fantastic job. But I'm just really more so looking forward to future updates like 1.20 and, you know, things like bundles, archaeology, updating new biomes like savannas and birch forests, and possibly even like more dimensions and stuff if we get really lucky. Anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to say, just kind of get my thoughts out there. So with that all being said, I'm gonna finish up my resource gathering, and I will meet you back at the industrial area to close out the episode. That's concrete, baby! That's a whole lot of concrete. Thank you so much for sticking through this extra long and extra grindy episode. Once again, I apologize for not getting any real building done in the industrial area today. We just had way too many resources to gather and not enough time to do it. I'm still really excited about this build, and when episode 16 comes out, that is the first thing we are gonna get to in that video. I promise you that. Oh yeah, we also have a crazy amount of black glass. That squid farm, honestly incredible. I don't know what I would have done without it. Until next time, gamers, this has been Leon, and I will see you all in the next 1.18 survival video. The next episode's gonna be a good one.